Hey guys, I'm here to give you a solution to the problem that a lot of people have been facing. So Unity doesn't have an inbuilt feature to display 2D arrays in the inspector window in a grid format. So I have figured out a solution and I'm here to give you that. So let's start with it. So we are gonna make a class which will act as our 2D array, and we are gonna display that 2D that class variable in a grid format in the inspector window. So let's start with making our custom class. So I'm gonna name this class as array layout because it's a template. And now in this class, let's just strip this class from these things. We don't need these. So we have a basic simple class, and let's make a public structure which will hold our one single row of our two-dimensional array. I'm gonna call it row data, and let's make an array in it of boolean variables because I'm gonna show you a 2D array of boolean variables. So let's name this as row, and now let's make multiple rows of this structure. I'm saying rows because we are dealing with two-dimensional arrays, but you can just say that one single one-dimensional array of this structure. So let's make one single dimensional array of public row data of rows. So I'm gonna show you a grid of 7 by 7 variables. So that's why I'm gonna declare this array with 7 elements. You can try to do different sizes of this two-dimensional array. This is static, but if you want a dynamic one where you can change the size of the array in the editor whenever you want, you can have some public variables set here and you can change them. But I'm just gonna cover a 2D array of a fixed size. So we have a grid of 7 by 7. So we have a custom class. Now I'm gonna I'm gonna make an instance of this class in my script wherever I need it. So I'm gonna just make a test script over here. Alright, here it is. I don't need these functions. You can keep them or you can remove them, whatever you want. I'm just gonna make one variable of our custom class that we made, and I'm just gonna name it data. So I'm gonna drag and drop this script in on an object. So you can see that the way our custom class object is public, but it's still not visible directly in the inspector. So we need to take care of that because Unity doesn't understand directly that it has to show some variables in the inspector. So to make Unity understand that we have to do this, we need that variables to be displayed. We have to write this custom property specifier here for this property of our class that it's serializable, and this is fine for the structure, but our custom array row data also needs to be displayed there. So we need to specify our class as system serial as well. So once we do that, we can just go and see in Unity that our elements are over here. So you can see that all rows have their separate arrays. You can change the sizes wherever you want. You can have those elements, but this is kind of tedious and really hard to navigate or see through and change variables, because you have to it gets really hectic if you have a lot of elements in every single row. you have it gets really hard to read and manage. So if you want only this is and you don't want a grid structure to be displayed in the inspector window, you guys can stop the video right now and have good luck. But if you want to see a grid structure, how to display a grid structure in the inspector window, you should probably keep seeing this video ahead. Okay, so now we have a custom 2D arrays class, and we have a script which has an instance of that variable. So how do we display this custom 2D class, array class in inspector window in a grid format? So Unity has this feature where if you have any scripts in a folder called as editor, it would understand that those scripts have uh, editor based scripts which are meant for the editor and not for the game. So you can make property drawers, like the thing that we are going to use to display our 2D array in a grid format is called as property drawers. So you can have your own custom property drawers in the editor folder, and you can use it to draw our 2D array. So I'm just gonna make a custom C# script here, and I'm gonna name it as custom array, let's say custom property drawer. So let's open this. Let's get rid of these functions, we don't need them, and remove the mono behavior extension. So there's a package called as Unity Editor which has these custom property drawers and other classes. So we are going to extend our class to property drawer. So property drawer has a function called as onGUI, which we have to override to make this class draw our class in the inspector window in the way we want. So before we do that, we need to specify that this custom property drawer is meant for our class array layout. So just like we mentioned in instruction was Unity like system serializable before in our custom class, you can let Unity know that this class is a property drawer for our custom class. So you can say custom property drawer. Okay, wait, I made a mistake. I think we should change the name to something else. Say custom property drawer, and let me check. Yeah, okay, so the file is renamed. Alright, so I'm just gonna say custom property drawer and type of array layout. So this line lets Unity know that we have an array layout class and we take its type of, and this custom property drawer is meant to draw this type of class. So once we have that, now we can override public the onGUI function, public override. So this function takes the position where it has to draw a property. A property is basically a variable in a class. Like you can say like data is a property. So onGUI takes three parameters as input. First being the position where it's gonna draw this property, and the property itself, and a GUI content. So you don't have to worry about GUI content a lot. uh, you can start with, I'm just gonna show you how to display the name of this property. So you can use just like in on GUI functions in your mono behavior, like in your game scripts, you have GUI dot label, GUI dot buttons. For editor, there is another class called as editor GUI, which you can use to display things in editor window. So I'm gonna use that to display uh, label, and in that label we will have our properties name. So I'm just gonna give it the position where I want my label and the label itself. The GUI content has trigger information like name and everything of our property. So once I do that, I'm going to go to Unity, and you can see that Unity is showing the custom variable here called as data. So now you can see, but as we have just shown the label, it's just showing the label and there is no array information in there. So let's go to our custom property drawer and edit it to display other information. So this editor prefix label, actually once you have this label, it's actually using some space in our inspector window. So as I'm gonna show our grid below this, like here in this space, I need to add info units to the actual position. So I'm gonna make a new rectangle called as new position and assign it the position that we already have. Now as the label takes some height, I'm going to add uh, some units to the y. So I've figured out that 18 pixels are basically what you need to display. Uh, 18 pixels is the height, like enough height to for a label or anything. So I'm gonna just take it. It might differ for other machines. You can change it. Uh, so I'm just gonna use 18. And so this position has four parameters in it: x, y, and width and height. So x and y is the location where you're gonna draw anything, and width and height is the width and height of that like location, how much it can use. So right now we have the width is the editor, like the inspectors windows width, and height is basically just one properties height, that is around 18 pixels of course. So what I need to do before that is after this, once I have added 18 pixels, I can start drawing my array. So I'm gonna show you how to draw one row first, and then I'll show you how to draw the complete array, complete two-dimensional array. uh, so let's first get right now we have the property we need to get one single row. So to get one single row, we need to get first data, and then we need to get one single row out of the data. So I'm gonna go and make a serialized property called as data, and get data from class. So now we have the instance data in this, and now we have data and we need to access row. So it's like data dot rows of 0. So I'm trying to access data dot rows dot 0. This is what I'm trying to do, and after that I'm trying to get the uh, 0th element, and I'm also gonna try 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 6. So this is how I'm gonna iterate. So let me first get serialized one single row out of a two-dimensional array. So I'm gonna go and get first single row, and I'm gonna get, I have the first single row, but I need to get I have the first single row data by this, but I need to get the row in this row data structure. So I'm gonna do get find property relative row. So this will, now row will have the bottommost array row of the row data structure. So now I can do a for loop, and iterate through it to display uh, our whole array. So I'm gonna just go iter GUI dot property field and the position and the property itself, and in the row I'm just going to iterate through all elements in that row using I. And so if you go and see this right now in Unity, you would see that all the elements in that array are okay. There's alright, I missed one small thing. So we have declared row data having 7 elements, but our one single row doesn't have any elements, it's not initialized. So you have to specify the row size as 7. As I'm going to do a 7 by 7 grid, it's 7. You can have it something else, that's up to you. So this will solve the issue. Okay, so we have an error. I kind of forgot to make I made a mistake and accidentally took this from the script. I should be taking rows and not data, so I'm just going to do that, and this should solve the problem. So you can see that all the checkboxes, you can see a small checkbox over here, but as we haven't arranged all the height, and as we aren't iterating the position, like we are not changing the new position depending on the checkbox, what checkbox it is. It's all the checkboxes are shown at the same location, so we are going to deal with that. So we have new position stored, and we need to add before that, uh, so as I told you that the complete width, the width of the rectangle is the inspector windows width. So I'm going to change the width to whatever it is by 7. The position dot width slash 7. So as we have 7 elements, every element will have 1/7 of the complete width. And once I do that, I need to add it to the x value of our position, because we want to move every element to some distance in the x direction, in the horizontal direction. I'm just gonna add width to that, and this should make, so you can see all the elements in the first row have been moved, have been arranged uniformly, and you can check them and uncheck them whenever, as you want. But the thing is, it's still appearing not the proper location. It seems that it's kind of overlapping with the other buttons and elements in the GUI. So I'm gonna solve that when at the last, but I'll show you how to display all the seven rows in that array. So now we have one row. We just need to iterate this displaying of one single row 7 times. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to write a for loop for 7 rows, and once I do that, I'm going to replace our first row to J, and once we have that, we need to reset our new position again to the original position, but we have to keep on adding the vertical distance as well. So as I told you earlier, that I figured out that 18 pixels are enough to display all the elements in properly arranged vertically. So I'm just going to uh, add uh, I'm just going to set new positions x value, because the uh, height is the same, and the just the vertical, the y position differs. So I'm just going to add 18 pixels to the y, and this should show all our elements there. So you can see that all the elements are here, but you can see that it's not properly arranged, because this add component button is kind of overlapping with our grid. So the reason for this is Unity arranges, like, makes this GUI for every, it has a system where every variable in a class is considered as a property, and for our property we have around 18 pixels designated for our property. So we haven't changed that value, though I'm arranging all my elements according to that, but the global value for our property hasn't been. So you can set that by declaring, or by overriding another function in property to our class, which is called as get property height. uh, this is the function. So you need to override that function. This function takes the position of a property and the property itself. Oh, sorry. This function takes the property and the GUI content, of course. So we don't need these variables. We just need to return a value. So this function returns a float value. So I'm just going to return 18f, because 18f is one single size, but we have 7 rows, and we also have the label of our property. So it's eight things, like eight lines in our property. So 7 rows and one label is 8 lines. So I'm just going to multiply this by 8 and just set this. So you can just go and now you can see that all my elements are arranged properly. So you can go on changing the size over here, and you can see all the elements are arranged properly. They kind of get spread out when you increase the size, and they shrink together, and like they get close to each other when you shrink the window size horizontally. So there's one single issue that is not tackled in this class. So you can see that even if I'm clicking on different boxes, the boxes only in the first row are getting selected. This is because we haven't let him know that every single row is another is separate. So we are going to solve that problem by mentioning the height of our uh, proper every row. So I mentioned here the size of every row. If you don't do this, Unity will consider every single row as uh, like the whole height, like which is 18 into 8. Because if you change this, every time you're drawing one single element, it will take the height from this new position, which is 18f, and it will draw according to that. So I'm just gonna go and test it out and show you guys it works. So you can see all these elements can be selected, and as I said, they are persistent, and even if you close Unity and uh, try to open it again, it will work. To make a new scene and try to load my scene again, and you can see these values are there already. So that's about it, guys. I hope you guys can use this in your games, and you can find these files in the description of this video. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and thank you for watching this video.